You know, as an old Eldar player, I've seen a couple of comments saying Total War Warhammer 40k will be the big Dawn of War 4 killer. No, it is not, just for a simple reason. Total War is not a game about building bases. There are no workers running around, and you are not building anything live on the battlefield. A very big stretch could be Total War is more the in-depth combat and tactics part of the Warhammer 40k universe, while in Dawn of War it's more about building up a presence. You line up your troops, you think of new strategies every few seconds, start sweating as the enemy breaks through, but in the end, you might be able to flank them and still pull off a victory for some very odd reason. Creative Assembly had their combat livestream, and what they showed was honestly really sexy. Only complaint, they titled it ranged combat at first, but I was somewhat missing the range in much of the presentation. I think it went into a total different direction as planned, so it's okay. They have a new engine, Warcore, built so the ranks and files formula survives contact with automatic weapons and orbital strikes. And I have to tell you, it looked glorious. We were seeing bodies getting hit and flying off, airstrikes causing deep craters that can also be used as cover, detailed animations for every single unit, even though some still need some work. Hey, it is an early development build, so what? Also, what I liked were tanks strafing across the line, and the background is giving the whole environment real depth. It makes things look and feel enormous and big, so it's proper 40k atmosphere. Still, here I became humble. You know, I have not played a Total War game seriously since medieval. My little Denmark taking over all over Europe. You know, those were the days. Back then, units were more or less a huge blob with one health bar that either faced the enemy or did not. This one here feels so much different. Every single model tracks line of sight. The game is checking per soldier who's standing in front and whether your back rows can even see a target to shoot at. Flanking gives you real hit bonuses, and over all of that you have a moral system sitting and trying to ruin your day. Watching all of this battle resolving in real time, my CPU was literally screaming in fear. I felt a bit sorry for all the guardsmen and how squishy they were against some orcs. I mean, it's not a bug, the Astra Militarum is the Imperium's endless supply of expendable men, but still, the Total War Warhammer 40k stream looked great so far. Still, you can see it is an early development build. The close-up firing animation, the guardsmen moving looked very rough and stiff, but honestly, animations is probably something they will be polishing in the last months before release. In regards to the las guns not being red, well, they can vary according to the lore. Still, pure white feels slightly boring. Anyway, this combat livestream makes me want to have more Total War, more Warhammer 40k. I'm finally excited again for a Total War game right now. Still, I think it is too early to call it a great game. It was early footage, but Total War has a decent record of shipping decent games. And from what I've seen, this could be really epic in the end. 4 factions at launch, Space Marines, Astra Militarum, what we've seen, the Orks, and the Eldari from what I've read. Everyone else will probably join us as DLCs, like always. However, there's no release date yet, not even a real window I would trust. Creative Assembly is working on it and keeping infos very well behind closed doors. But between this, Dawn of War 4, and other non-Warhammer games, 2026 and 2027 are shaping up to be very good years for everyone liking strategy and tactic games. We have been in a drought for some time, and it is nice to have a queue again. I'm hoping to get my hands on more of this at Gamescom. If I do, I will let you know on this channel. One last thing though, and this is more a question for the comments. Back in my day, in my local games workshop, you were not allowed to say you killed a unit, ever. You defeated it, you removed it. If the word killed left your mouth, you were politely invited to leave the store. I always assumed that was a typical German thing, very us, you know, rules about the rules. So tell me, was your games workshop like that too? Or did I just grow up in the one run by the commissariat themselves? That's all I have for today. From an Eldar player, subscribe, and until next time.